Head coach Antonio Pierce joins us. Coach, let's begin. You had a 10-7 lead against Kansas City. Things were working out well. What'd you see at that point and then after halftime?
Yeah, I think, just opportunities there, right? Really go to the third quarter where we had that sequence of plays with we kicked off to them, got them pinned inside the 15, got a couple penalties, got the interception, and there's an opportunity there. The ball's on the 3-yard line. Got to find a way to punch it in. We did not. And then you can feel the game, and obviously another turnover there to end it. And at that point, we're fighting for our lives. But I love the fight. I love the competitiveness. I love the effort that we gave. Again, this is going to come down to execution. Take care of the football. Better in the penalty situation. I thought we had a good idea and a good plan in the run game. Defensively, got to do a better job with Kelsey early on in the game. I thought we got him going too early, and especially in that first half. Let him off the hook a couple times.
I want to get to the Spillane injury. I was in the stands at that point, and when he came to the sidelines, I thought he was done. Yep. I mean, he couldn't put pressure on his leg. He goes into the tent and comes out, and he's out there again. Can you take us through his warrior aspect and how he was able to play after that?
I'll tell you what, man, you talk about a guy, I keep saying that loves football.
Yeah.
Loves the game. And I went to him right after he got the blue tent. He was sitting there, and I'm kind of I was checking him out, and he's like, I'm good. I said, you sure? He's like, man, I'm good. AP, I'm not missing this one. And for him to go out there and regardless of how he finished playing statistically or how it looked on film, that's the mindset and that's the fight and that's what we talk about in our meeting rooms of just continue to battle, man. Giving your team each and everything that you have, leaving the gas tank empty, and he did that on Sunday.
What'd you see with Trayvon Merritt coming into the box, tackling? He gets the tipped interception, almost got in the end zone there. A lot of fight from him, too.
Yeah, I think Trayvon, quietly kept, is really having a really good season. I think 2 interceptions on the season. Closer to the box he gets, the more plays he's making, especially on the other side line of scrimmage or at the line of scrimmage. Being more vocal again. We talked about the loss a couple weeks ago with Marcus Epps, but I think just his role has expanded more and more. Patrick Graham getting him more involved, either in pressures or down the box, disguising. He's a physical player who now in year 4 is really coming to his own.
Let's stay on that with Epps gone. You told me a lot that they were like twins. They're with each other all the time. How is he handling without that? We haven't heard much from Epps since the injury, and how Trayvon's becoming even a bigger leader.
Yeah, I think Epps, he's coming along well. Obviously, he had surgery. Wish him the best going forward. I think with Trayvon, I think what he really understood now that he has to be that vocal leader. He has to be the centerpiece of the back end. Spill controls the front. We need that extra tentacle in the back end to get our corners, Nate Hobbs at star, all aligned. And he's playing with a guy in his first time starting a lot of games in Isaiah Palomile, who's playing really well as well. I think our safeties combined, the core of those two guys, their tackling, the ability to make plays in space, I think has really shown up for us.
Brock leads the league in receptions, but I know you're trying to get him in the end zone. So what can change here in the red zone with him, getting him in motion? We know everybody's keeping an eye on him, but that's got to be frustrating knowing that he can do it from the 20 to 20, but just finding new ways to get him open.
Yeah, you got to move him around, got to move him in different positions, and I think they give him a shot. It doesn't matter if they have eyes on him. He's better than most of the guys he's going against, and we've seen that. I mean, we could throw up against the ball against their number one corner on our sideline, and he goes up there and he mosses him, right? Top hat and makes the play. The physicality. I mean, he knocked out another corner by how he's running after the ball, which we talked about. So we got to be more creative of moving him around. Put him at the backfield. I don't care. At this point, we need to score touchdowns because we're down there too many times, too often, and not putting points on the board.
What's going on with your quarterback decision this week with the 2 quarterbacks that you'll have up ready to go?
Yeah, they'll both get reps this week in practice, and, Gardner will start, and we'll see what happens after that.
We'll go to the other quarterback, Joe Burrow. He's something. They haven't won at home this year, which is kind of shocking for them because they were predicted to be a Super Bowl contender here, but this is kind of a do-or-die game for them. And the quarterback, when he's healthy and has protection, he's lethal.
Yeah, I mean, when you watch him, don't look at the record. Yeah. Look at Jamar Chase. When T. Higgins is out there, and then you look at this quarterback standing in there, he's getting hit. He's got pressure consistently. He doesn't flinch, doesn't blink, making big-time throws. And, now you watch him on 3rd and 15+, and he runs for a 50-yard touchdown. So he's doing everything he can to help his team and willing them to victories. And it's going to be a tough matchup. Obviously, we know they're struggling at home, but that doesn't really matter. We got to handle our business on the road.
Eric Allen talks about the maturation of Jacorian Bennett and his stats and the way he looks now. Now you got Chase. You feel comfortable if he's on Jack's side or your young player side, number 0, that they can handle him, especially with his speed and ability to run after the catch.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase is elite. When you really watch him on film now, forget the record, and I know he's got, he's number 1 in targets and receptions and all these other numbers, but it shows up on film. His ability to gain yards after the catch, after contact, the ability to make those contested one-on-one completions, and then I think just overall good football player. And obviously, all hands, it doesn't matter if it's JB, Jack, if they put him inside and he's on Nate Hobbs, we got to have eyes on him. We got to disrupt him. But more importantly, we got to disrupt the quarterback so they don't have that time in as well.
Trey Hendrickson's a hell of a player, and similar stats to Max every year. I think Max, what's different with Max is, he doesn't come out of the game. A lot of these other guys will come out for a breather. He could be a beast in trouble here. You just came off Jones from Kansas City. What do you do to limit him?
Yeah, another game record. Got to keep our eyes and hands on him. He's on demand too. We can't allow these one-on-one matchups. I thought going back to last week, I thought we did a decent job on Chris Jones, especially in passing downs. And he's always going to find a way. Good players find a way to be disruptive at certain times in the game. But we got to do the same thing with 91. I mean, we see that every day in practice from Max. So that's a good part about our offensive line. They see it. They know what it looks like. Now we just got to get, a couple more sets of hands and eyes on them and obviously get the ball out.
That's a good segue to what I wanted to ask you about the offensive line. With the injuries, we wait for the injury report to come out and inactives on game day. With the guys who have been out then coming back in again, do you feel like the chemistry, you're getting used to different pairings and seeing what you like?
You don't want that at O-line.
No.
You don't want to be playing mix and match and who's in, who's at center, who's at guard. I mean, we've been doing that all year and no excuse. I mean, there's nothing we can do with it. It's the nature of the beast with injuries. And I would say this, we're getting a lot of good play from our younger guys. There's mistakes there, of course. But you got to keep finding a way to get the best 5 guys and get them to play in consecutive weeks. Not even in weeks, just how about in practice? There's too often, even throughout the week, we don't have an opportunity to go with our same 5 guys Wednesday through Friday. And again, not trying to feel sorry for us. It's the nature of the beast. But that's something we're battling with, and to those players' credits, they're doing their best they can.
And you preach the physicality, what you want from them. They all get that, too, as you try to get this running game going every week.
Yeah, it's not going to change. I've said it, that's our DNA, that's our identity, that's what I want us to look like. When we got the ball, 6 inches from the goal line, we're going to run the ball. We're not going to throw it. It's man up. That's the game. That's the name of the game, physical football. And we're going to go at it again this week and keep preaching on the run game and get that thing going.
We're going to talk to you after the bye week. Obviously, we're focused on this game. Then we have a bye week, and then Miami there. So just your message to the fans as they'll talk to you after the bye week, the struggle with the record, but the fight and the will that this team has.
Yeah, I don't think anybody can question our effort, our fight, how competitive we are, the togetherness. There's a lot of people poking holes in the armor right now, and guys are not flinching and blinking. That's just the nature of the beast. We get it with our record being 2-6, not what we expected. But I think when you watch us play, regardless of how ugly it is at certain points of the game, in the fourth quarter, we're giving ourselves a chance to either tie it up or win it, and we've had those opportunities. And we're going to keep fighting. We're going to go out to work each and every week because we get paid for 17 weeks. And until this bad boy is over at the end of the season, they're going to get our best effort.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.